feeling lost and I have nowhere else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home now. Everybody hating on, I feel so cold now. Why do everybody make me feel alone? Like I'm feeling lost and I have nowhere else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home.
Stop, Naruto-kun. We'll catch them after we finish the rest of hair of this man. I promise, Urza said. Naruto sighed and nodded in his head reluctantly. Wait, two girls and one guy against the entire magic guild? Lucy asked nervously. My mom always told me not to hit girls, but I'm gonna make an exception. And plus, what's this over there? There isn't a girl. One member said, sorry ladies, you're not gonna be as cute when we're done with ya. Another member assumed, chuckling. But without my stunning beauty, I'll be totally hopeless, Lucy said, daydreaming. This is not the time to daydream, Lucy had been shouted, trying to snap her back into reality. Natsu and Urza, no, Naruto and Urza, prepare for battle. Let's do this. Come on, Naruto-kun. You said you wanted a good fight? Well, I have a good one for you, Urza said, holding out her arms as a magic circle appeared and a sword was in her hand. Don't worry, I'll make this short, Naruto said, smirking, taking out a multiple three pointing kunais and preparing to throw them all over the place. The magic sword, it came of thin air, and Naruto pulled out these weird shaped knives. Lucy observed. She gasped quietly, and I'm gonna witness the great Urza and great fairy tale ninja in action all at once, Lucy thought excitedly. If you insult the fairy tale guild again in my presence, I swear no one of you will live to see tomorrow, Urza threatened. Naruto stood in stance ready to throw every one of these knives, but the Elsenwald members were unfazed and continued to charge at the two legendary warriors. Naruto smirked. You guys are in for a good one, he said, as the members closed them the team. Urza effortlessly swung her swords. The attack was every member. As he continued to thrash her sword and pierce at other members, I'll show you, a member shouted, blasting a bright yellow beam at Urza and Naruto. But however, Urza and Naruto easily evaded the blast with ease, jumping into the air and equipping her sword into a spear, and continued to thrash until she decided to requip to a twin sword. It turned into a twin sword, a member with a green hair, a little chubby, like, said in amazement. I never seen anybody able to do a requip that fast. At this chick, another amazed member said, what is a requip? Lucy wondered. A magic weaponry isn't that much as different from your celestial spirits, Naruto said, still looking for all of the perfect spots to mark. That's right. The user can summon weapons. They can keep storage in another dimension. And when they switch weapons, it called Requip, Happy said. Wow, that's incredible, Lucy said. And you haven't seen nothing yet. Urza is just getting warmed up. And now we're also getting to see Whiskers in action as well, Happy said. Urza. Then the green hair member shouted, recognizing the name. All while Naruto finally began to take aim. After finding all perfect spots, finally threw them all. The knife went everywhere, and immediately Naruto disappeared in a flash, shocking everyone. Naruto suddenly reappeared in a different area, seemingly in the place of one knife through, and began to take down every Ocean member he came in contact with, taking off the taijutsu knowledge and putting them into use. Lucy and Happy and the members were shocked at incredible speed and strength Naruto had. He is amazing, Happy. Have you seen Naruto do that in like this? Lucy asked. Nope, this is at first. Not even Urza has seen him do this. He never used is during the sparring match. So you're lucky you're first one to see Naruto do this. Like Happy said. Lucy was shocked. Lucy looked back. He's amazing. What speed and strength. It's out of the question, Lucy thought in awe. Naruto saw many other members coming towards him, and so he took out a regular knife and threw it right the side in, hitting one member in the face perfectly, also knocking all of the members behind him, sending them to the ground. Naruto took care of them members down with an ease. What are those knives? They look like knives, but they're all weird, Lucy wondered. Those are called kunai knives. They are very strong. When Whiskers and Urza were sparring, he used one of those to fight Urza, but the one he threw, I've never seen those type of knife before. They seem to work differently than the normal kunais, Happy assumed. Then it's time to kick butt too, Lucy said, reaching for her keys. Why do you want to steal the spotlight for them? Happy said in disappointment. Open, get her the key of crabs, Lucy chanted. Immediately, Cancer Crab appeared. You need to fight these dudes, Cancer asked. Yeah, let me take my own style, Lucy said. All of the remaining members charged at him. Oh baby, Cancer chirped, jumping towards the member, using his scissors and chopping at the members, cutting anything it comes in contact with. Like your new style? Cancer asked. That was impressive, Urza complimented. Naruto saw and landing on the ground, giving her a thumbs up. Good job, Luchan. He added, walking over to the girls. Thanks, but it's no big deal, Lucy said. Alright, I totally scored points with her and Naruto-kun, Lucy cheered. That what you going for? Happy said, in shock. Naruto laughed. However, this crab spirit of yours, the way he calls you baby, I find it rather insulting, Urza said. Naruto sighed. Ah, come on, Urza-chan. Give her a break, Naruto said. Lucy immediately regressed points on scoring. She said, whoa, Cancer said. Naruto-kun, there's still so many. I thought we took care of them. Annoying, but let's wipe them all up, Naruto said. And Urza, and magic circle reappeared below her feet. Naruto smirked. Totally, he said. And immediately again Naruto disappeared and reappeared behind them, swiftly taking them down, and a huge chunk of Thousand Wall members down with improved taijutsu, knocking them all out for good, leaving the rest for Urza. Hey Urza-chan, I think you can take care of these guys, Naruto asked. Urza smirked. Of course, like I said, I wiped them all out, Urza reassured. Urza began to transforming a man, also wolf wizard to a hawk. Whoa, they said, pervert awe, as Naruto also stared in awe. You never cease to amaze me, Urza-chan. Naruto smiled, blushing ever so slightly. Kurama chuckled. Somebody has a crush. He teased. Naruto immediately entered to his mindscape, glaring at the tail beast, while they laughed at the Jinchuriki as Naruto came back to reality. Most magic swordsmen only have the ability to swap their weapons, but Urza is able to swap her armor for wizarding armor to enhance her abilities. It's a talent that only she possesses. That what makes her magic spell a technique called the Night, Happy said. As Urza transform finally stopped, Urza was now in heavy armor with wings sprouted from her back, holding two swords in both of her hands. Naruto smiled in awe. Lucy shouted, now dance with my swords, Urza shouted. I knew it had to be them. the green-haired guy said, realizing striking him too late. The circle of swords. Urza shouted, sending the two swords immediately her at the members, effectively taking them down. Well, she took most of them down with a single swipe. Naruto was also amazed. I have never seen anyone with speed and strength like that before. All of the powers and skills are beyond imagination, Lucy said in awe. Happy said, alright, you're dealing with me now, one member shouted, charging towards the three teens. Don't do it, BR. Do you have any idea who's that woman and who's that man is? A green hair guy asked. Naruto noticed and saw he jumped towards Urza and her attacker from the side, getting there and gave Urza attacker a nice full punch to the face before Urza even had the time to lift her sword, knocking her attacker out for good. The woman is a queen of fairy tale, Titania, and the man, the whiskers with red coat, is a familiar figure. I didn't realize it, could think it was actually him, but it is. The man was the legendary fairy tale ninja. The chubby member said, all the fairy tale Requipped back to her default armor, and Naruto going back to pick up his kunai. Oh man, I think I'm in love with both Naruto-kun and Urza-chan. Lucy squealed. Forgetting this, I'm out of here, the chubby guy said frantically, running away fearful, not wanting to face two legendary warriors. I would imagine he's gonna look for Igor, and you should go look for him, Urza suggested. Who, me? Lucy said nervously. Urza began to look irritated just to do it. Naruto-kun, please follow Urza, Naruto said. Whatever you say, I don't wanna make her angry, Lucy frantically as she said. Naruto and Happy began their search. Urza sighed and fell down to her knees, almost depleting her magic energy. Gray was right, I overdid it on the magic mobile. Please, boys, please don't fail me, Urza begged. I can't believe she make us work together. What was she thinking? Gray wondered. Obviously she wasn't thinking. Everybody knows that fire and ice don't mix. She should have just sent Whiskers down. He could have probably taken Igor with not a problem, Natsu added. Why does she always have to be so freaking bossy? Gray wondered. She should ask us instead of ordering us around, Natsu said. I don't need your help. I can handle Igor by myself. Are you copying me? The both shouted, childish, but immediately stopped when they saw two split away. Which way do to go? Natsu asked. I guess we'll just have to split up, Grace said. The two faced their way back, turning towards each other. Natsu were going against a evil freaking who is getting ready to unleash a deadly spell. If you find him, give him a good thrashing, Greg said, turning over to high-five the Pinky Dragon Slayer, giving him a thumbs up and actually smiling at him. You don't have to tell me twice. Don't worry, that I have got a bone to pick with him. That guy for messing with Fairy Tail. I'm gonna burn him to a crisp, Natsu reassured and smiled at him. They immediately turned away from each other. Don't die on me, Gray whispered quietly. Huh? Natsu said confusedly. Nothing. Later, loser, Gray said, running off. Natsu looked back and ran off by himself. Gray saw and speak, realizing he hit him.